Video crooked? I feel like I'm crooked. All right. Well, hey, everybody. It's Grim Green from grimgreen.com back here today. Thank you so much for joining me again here on Mod Monday. You know, I had such a crummy review week last week. We had that leaky NE box. Then we had that weird siphon for the RDA. I want to get to some stuff that I actually enjoy, vaping. So first thing up on ye old chopping block of Mod Monday is this. This is the Praxis Decimus mod, Praxis Vapors. They have created a 150 watt dual 18650 mod that I actually really enjoy. But in order to get to know this device just a little bit better and this tank just a little bit better, what we're going to do is go up close as we always do. Quick short uppy closey time. All right, yeehaw. Well, this is the Praxis Decimus 150 watt box mod from Praxis Vapors, top to bottom, spring-loaded 510 on there, and it's a very, very forgiving spring-loaded 510, even atomizers with a very protruding 510 pin like this Twisted Messes RDA. You can screw it down on here. No problems at all, no gaps. Sometimes spring-loaded 510s don't leave quite enough room, so you end up with a little bit of a gap. No such gap exists on the Praxis mod. All the black portions of this mod have this like rubbery, texturized finish on it, which actually feels really nice. The button has that same rubbery, texturized finish, and the black down here around your display has a rubbery, texturized finish that just feels soft on the hand. The overall fit and finish of this is really just stellar. Praxis Vapors sort of embossed down the side on that rubbery, texturized finish, and the doors fit on here with not a gap or a overhang or anything like that. The doors fit on here incredibly, incredibly well. It's got one nice big clicky button right there, and both doors actually pop off via magnets, so you can get different colored doors if you desire. They have them in a whole rainbow of freaking colors, and blue and red and orange and green and gray and everything like that. Obviously, I like the white look of it. It reminds me of a stormtrooper, so suck on that. Back on the inside is your battery sled with an included ribbon that seems very durable. The sled is clearly marked positive side up, negative down, positive down, and negative up. So what I'm going to do is pop some batteries in here, and don't worry, these are wrapped batteries. They just have clear wraps on them because I know people are going to ask. We're going to put these batteries in correctly. Positive side up, positive side down, pop your door back on. Boom, you're good to go. There's your whole display. Now, when you fire it up, it's showing you wattage, resistance, and voltage, just like that. And your adjustment buttons aren't on the surface of it, so there's nothing to accidentally press if you're throwing it in your pocket or you grab it out of your, I was going to say wallet. If you grab it out of your backpack or something like that, all the controls are on the inside. So you've got a positive and a negative, or an up and a down, and you want to adjust your voltage up, you adjust your voltage up by pressing the up button. And then there's nothing to lock. There's no hold these down to lock your wattage like is on a lot of other mods. You just put your door back on, and now nothing can be accidentally adjusted. And if you actually want to adjust it, you just pop your door up, you adjust this back down. But you're saying to yourself, what if I don't want to adjust the voltage? What if I want to adjust the wattage? Aha! So the first thing you need to do is attach something that you want to vape. This is the Arctic V8. When you press the button, it'll show you your resistance, 0.35. It'll show you the wattage you're using, 68 watts, 4.9 volts. Now, with something attached that it will fire, this only fires down to 0.2 ohms. If you have something on here that will fire, you press the fire button quickly twice. 1, 2. Switches over. Now you can see your wattage is really big, and your voltage is really small, and your resistance is still there. Battery life indicator over here is actually really, really accurate. So like I said, this will only fire down to 0.2 ohms. And if you put something that's too low of a resistance on there, it just says check your atomizer. Check your atomizer. That means that this is way too low. And I know that this is way too low. It's like a 0.12, so it's not going to fire on this mod. The doors themselves are actually kind of really, really soft and comfortable to use. This is a very, very comfortable mod to just hold in your hand. It's rounded. You You can hit it with your trigger like that. It's rounded. You can hit it with your thumb like this. I love the overall size and feel of this device. It's just really comfortable to use and hold. Now, real quickly, Praxis is also making their Spitfire tank, which is just their sub-ohm tank. It's much more of a flavor tank than other sub-ohm tanks, and for the life of me, I cannot not figure out how to get this tank all the way apart, hence the water droplets on the inside from being rinsed out. One thing that this tank does do that makes no sense to me is this top part pops off, and there's O-rings here, and then nothing. And then I don't know why this exists. I don't know why this comes off. It literally makes no sense to me. It looks like it should be like a top fill design, but there's nothing there. There's nothing on either side. This is just a little top part that's held on by O-rings, and I don't know why they did that. Here's the base, adjustable airflow. Comes with their own Praxis Spitfire coil heads, which are actually really, really nice coil heads. It has their little lightning bolt logo for the juice flow, O-ring on top, decent airflow. I'm going to go ahead and just use this combo together. I'm going to fill up this Spitfire tank with some juice. We're going to get it on the mod. We're going to get back out to normal view, and we're going to freaking vape it. Like I said, this tank is a bottom fill tank, so you have to take the bottom off. You put your juice right here, squeeze, and just fill it up. I always also like to put just a couple of maybe 1, 2, 3 drops right down the middle, just so that if something's not wicking correctly, you're not going to get an insanely burnt hit. And then you just screw it kind of all back together, just like that. No big deal. Screw it together, then open up those juice flow holes. You're good to go. So I know a lot of people are going to be put off by the fact that the controls are on the inside of the mod, that you have to lift off this door to get to your up and down buttons. Personally, I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it. With most other mods, I tend to have to lock the wattage. Most other mods have a feature like in the software where you hold down certain buttons or go to a certain menu configuration, you can lock your wattage so that you don't accidentally adjust it or hold a button, like if you put it in your pocket and it's just holding the plus button down, and suddenly when you were vaping at 50 watts, now you're vaping, oh shit, at like 120 watts. There's none of that to deal with this. The buttons are covered by the door, and I like that the doors come in different colors. And I was actually contemplating, how could I color this myself? How could I sand this down and make it like really matchy to something else? Like get a particular shade of green. I'm not sure if it can happen. I'm sure it can happen. I'm just not sure if I'm able to do it. Overall, man, I've loved this device. I've loved it since the second I got it. I like the clicky button. I like that it's just flat right there with the mod, and it's just a tiny little click to get it going. The two weird things about this device that I touched on in the Epiclosi that I didn't even know about until someone pointed them out to me was the very slight delay. I'm guessing it's got to be like 0.3 second delay between when you press the button and when it actually fires. It's like a quarter of a second at the most. And honestly, I was just vaping it forever until someone on Instagram was like, yeah, but what about that delay when you press the button? And I was like, what are you talking about? There's no delay when you press the button. Sure enough, I picked up my Decimus, I pressed the button, I noticed the slight delay, and then it vaped. Weird. The other thing that someone pointed out was the buzzing sound. So this is a pulse width modulation box. Like, there's a bunch out there like the Surik X that make an audible noise or sound when you press the button. I'm confident in saying that when you vape this, you will not ever hear that sound, just because you have noise coming from your atomizer, you have noise from inhaling, that makes noise. I never hear it when I'm vaping it. It's only when I actually hold it up to my ear that I can hear this. It's like a slight little crinkling sound. It's like a little clicking sound. Even when I'm not vaping it, I just have it facing away from me, I don't hear it. To me, I don't care. That's not a huge deal. All my mods don't have to be completely silent because they make noise anyway when you vape. When you take a drag off of any atomizer or tank, yeah, it makes noise. Now their Spitfire tank is also pretty great. It's not a top fill tank, it's a bottom fill tank, which feels a little dated to me. I feel like most everything should be moving into top fill land, but it does perform really well. It's got really nice swooshy airflow, the kind of airflow that I really, really like. Just nice and swooshy, not turbulent at all. It's nice and open. The flavor I get from it is really, really nice. These Praxis coil heads, I don't know who's making their coil heads, but these are some of the best coil heads I've ever used. In fact, I have boxes, and I'm not joking, boxes of coil heads. I am going to buy some more of these Praxis Spitfire coil heads because I like the way they perform so much, and I like the flavor that I get from them so much. This combo right here is one of my favorite combos that I've honestly ever vaped. Now, are you going to need your vape budget hands? So Origin Vape has the Praxis Decimus mod in stock right now, 84 bucks. Yeah, sure. 84 bucks. Now, let's play the game of if aliens came down, those fucking aliens again. If aliens came down and took all of my vape gear, took everything I've ever owned, tanks, RDAs, and box mods and mech mods, and just took it all, would I seek out and purchase the Praxis Decimus mod again? Absolutely. Yes, without a doubt. This has become one of my favorite regulated mods. It doesn't do temp control. It just does 150 watts of power, fires down to a 0.2, which is fine on a regulated mod. I don't build that low anyway. I like it. I just like holding it. I just like using it. The fit and finish on it is just beautiful. I feel like this is a very, very good option for someone wanting a dual 18650 150 watt device. It doesn't do temp control. So if you're super into temp control, if you're like, all you build with is nickel and titanium, sorry, there's nothing for you in this mod. I'm going to post a link in the description to originvape.com, but you can also always use your Google Foo and try to find a cheaper price. I feel like 85 bucks for the Praxis Decimus mod is a pretty screaming deal considering the high quality feel of this device, the fact that it gives me plenty of power. I generally rock it with sub-tanks or now series box builds like 0.4 and up. Oh man, you can put a 0.4 build on here. In fact, let me just show you real fast and make this video even longer. Now this is a 0.4 ohm dual fused Clapton on the Twisted Messes RDA. I've turned up the wattage to 108 watts. It's 0.43 ohms and it's 6.8 volts. The vape on it is stellar. It feels like an unregulated series box. It just gives me plenty of power. Some people are going to be put off by that 0.2 resistance limit on here, but honestly, with series boxes, with regulated boxes, you don't have to build that low anymore. You can build much higher in the 0.4, 0.5 ohm range. Just turn up the wattage and it will give you a mountain of power. So there you go. I'm going to wrap this up. It is what it is, and it is the Praxis Decimus mod. I'll have a link in the description, like I said, to Origin Vape, but you can always use your Google Foo and search around and see if there's anything, cheaper out there. This is the Google Foo fingers right there. Find something cheaper, Google Foo fingers. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And as always, yes, thank you. Let's keep on vaping.
That's enough.